Hi, my name is Gerhard Gschwandtner, and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today we have the great pleasure to speak with Dr. James Rogers, and he is the author of a new book on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Let's talk about human prejudice. Why does it exist?
When we were forming as a species, we needed a way, and our old brain provided this for us. We needed a way to distinguish when we were in trouble or when we were in a friendly environment. That natural stimulus in our brain is still there. So when we see anything that is different from what we expect, your old limbic brain kicks in with your biases, your prejudice, your stereotypes, and your reactions to differences. There's no such thing as bias elimination. There's bias reduction. There's no such thing as prejudice elimination. There's prejudice reduction. What we can do, what we want to focus on is how do we manage it so that it doesn't demean another human being and eliminate people in our lives that we need simply because we had a reaction to how they were packaged, where they came from, what language they use, or any of those, what I call artificial barriers to relationships.
What are the benefits that you share with corporations when you do the training? What can people expect when you reduce bias and raise the level of awareness?
The outcome that I tell them is you're going to get better business results. And I've been able to demonstrate that by working with enlightened leaders who will actually put to practice the principles that I talk about. And those principles are basically diversity of thought, diversity of perspective will inherently create better outcomes for you, more innovation, better problem solving.
But also then there's a research that says that if you're a company that's visibly not committed to diversity, you're most likely to lose business.
A company that has greater diversity and focuses on diversity has better business outcomes. There is a causal relationship, but you have to work to get it. You won't get it just because, we decided we're going to we're making the extra $100 million a year, and we're going to apply some of that towards this diversity thing. It has to be intentional, and it has to be done correctly with good management principles.
But it also has to be integrated in a way that I would imagine that your training is all encompassing, that you're not just out to train one group, but you also integrate leadership.
Our training is all part of a large-scale change effort. And a large-scale change effort means that I start with the senior leaders. I get them to buy into the idea of using this as a strategy, and I bring it down to every employee of the company is touched by this process. I also touch base with managers to upgrade their management skills because this stuff is executed at the front line. It's not executed by the CEO and the COO. When you have managers who just inherently understand, I have teams of diverse composition, I need the skills and the attitudes and the knowledge to manage those teams so that I get world-class results, that's when you get value in this stuff.
So what are some of the components of your training? Can you give us a specific example?
Number one, you go in with no assumption of any malicious intent. There are no good guys, there are no bad guys, they're just human beings trying to figure out better ways to work with other human beings and trying to become aware of whatever barriers there might be to me doing that. And so it is a facilitated process. That's the other key. Not only is it no shame, no blame, but it is a facilitated process. You're not going to teach people how to think their way into doing this, but you can invite them to consider new habits, new behaviors, new ways of looking at things so that they can themselves discover a better way of doing things.
Help me with maybe a role play. And I am impersonating now a leader who leads a sales organization that's very homogenous, mostly males. Let's pretend I have only one woman on the team. And I'm challenging you. What do I find women that sell just as much as men? I can't find them.
That has nothing to do with the supply. That is a skills deficit because you're saying, I can't find them. Well, what I tried to do is I'll teach you how to find them because they are certainly there. And unfortunately, if you don't find them, your competitors will. Having a woman on your team is not necessarily inherently going to get you better results. But if you allow that woman to express the unique life experience that comes with being in a female body, I will tell you that life experience itself is where the value is. It's not her femaleness. And it's not, if you have a person of color there, it's not their color that's going to get you better results. It's the life experience that they have that is different from some of the other members of the team. Diversity, well managed, trumps ability. In other words, the right mix of different perspectives will give you better outcomes, more innovation, easier problem solving. We have been given this gift of being a nation of immigrants. The best in the world want to come here.
I want to recommend to our audience, head over to Amazon.com and get Dr. James Rogers' new book, Diversity Training that Generates Real Change, and that change goes right into your pocket. I want to read that book now cover to cover.
Great.
And I also want to invite you to speak at our upcoming June 15th conference on diversity, equity, and inclusion.
I would love to do it. Make sure you send me all the details so I can get and do you proud.